Hey everyone, Night Wraith here, just going over the next champion in my highlights and kind of overview that was voted on by my Alliance members. And yeah, so I'm going to be kind of investigating him a little bit, and I'll be using my 4-star because my 5-star isn't awakened yet, and a big part of his abilities are, his Sig ability, Fear the Void. And I don't really feel like using my 5-star science gem on him, just because, I kind of want to hold on to that for a while, and see if I can get a 5-star Captain America Infinity War or something, because, he only gets better once he's awakened. And I just thought I'd at least fool around with the 4-star, since he can still do plenty of damage, and I'll mess around with his synergies too, and yeah, so let's get into it. Now, his signature ability, Fear the Void, it's when all intimidating presence debuffs are at max stacks, instead of being removed, those debuffs are converted into a passive Fear of the Void that combines their effects and grants him 170.27 attack rating for 40 seconds. When Fear the Void is active, intimidating presence generates debuffs almost 25% faster. And Fear the Void cannot exceed a maximum of 2 stacks. So that just means the longer I play, the more powerful I can become, the more damage I can do. He's definitely a long game champion. So, and if he's ranked up pretty well, he can do plenty of damage against bosses and champions in war, but he's much better as a defender, because the longer you stay fighting him in that 3 minutes, the more it's gonna hurt, especially if you mess up and he taps you a couple times and maybe gets up to his special 3. It's gonna get bad. So yeah, his passives are usually fully immune to incinerate effects, which is very useful against someone like Human Torch recently, and I used Void a couple times, just fooling around to take him out. But you got to be careful with energy damage, because if he gets up to, Human Torch gets up to too many incinerates, and it doesn't matter at that point. You're going to be taking damage from whatever source that was. I don't know, I didn't get a torch in any of my crystal openings, so he might be in the future. Anyway, every 10 seconds, Void's intimidating presence inflicts 1 random debuff. 4 seconds on the timer if at least 1 intimidating presence debuff is already active. And then, when attacked, opponents can purify 1 of my debuffs every 10 hits, not seconds, on their combo meter. So if you're fighting against Void, it's easy to kind of counter a lot of his buffs by not finishing out combos and waiting until you're 8 or 9 away from your next 10. And as soon as he hits you with that debuff or whatever, you just bam bam and you're purified. So that's one way to fight against him. So intimidating presence debuffs. For each champion alive on the opponent's team, intimidating presence debuffs have a 0.6 second delay before fully activating. Useful for defender purpose, but that's about it. Fighting with him, this doesn't really affect you too much. Agility debuff reduces ability accuracy of evade and dexterity mastery by 30%. So this can help fighting against Spider-Man, and I even used on one of the last month's event quest, I used my Void against that golden symbiote who had that high chance of evade. And I don't know if that worked out entirely true, because if I remember right, that guy was immune to ability accuracy reductions, but nonetheless, it seemed to work out in my favor. Fatigue debuff reduces critical rating by 969.23. Petrify debuff reduces opponent's regeneration and power gain rate by a flat 50%. So, I don't believe that's 100% reduction when fighting, or for like power and everything, because the opponents can still gain power from certain sources, but I do know that it fully nullifies regenerative effects if you have 2 petrified debuffs on there, but opponents still gain power, just at a very, very slow rate when I'm hitting them. So it's not like it power locks them or anything. And when all intimidating presence debuffs are at max stacks, those debuffs will be removed after 5 seconds. So on an unduped version like my 5-star, they just go away and the cycle starts all over again. But Fear the Void allows you to keep those, which is very, very handy. I mean, I'm on the fence about using the gem on him to rank him up. But I mean, I have so many other champions that can really do boss killing or do lengthy fights no problem. So it's like, do I really need Void Awakened yet? Not my 5-star. I mostly use him as a for my Killmonger synergy. But anyways, Special Attack 1 just does a flat Intimidating Presence debuff, and it seems to be random which one it'll do, but more often than not, it'll just stack onto whatever Intimidating Presence debuff is already at 1. So if I have a Petrified debuff already up, and then I use a Special Attack, it usually just doubles up on the Petrified debuff rather than giving me a Fatigue or Agility debuff. It can give me a new one, but in my experience, it's more often than not just going to add to a debuff. The same flipped around too. If I use a Special Attack 1 and then an Intimidating Presence comes up after 10 seconds, it usually just fills up to 2, and then I start on the next stack. That's just how it works out for me. But Special Attack 2 inflicts 2 Dark Stings, each lasting for 12 seconds. An opponent with a Dark Sting gains a Weakness or Degeneration debuff per sting when inactivating a Special Attack. So, similar to the way Yellow Jacket works, if he hits you with his specials, and you use a special afterwards, it's going to do some damage. So, that's pretty nice. Weakness reduces attack rating by 25% for 20 seconds. Pretty useful. If I'm going up against someone who does a shitload of damage, I'll try and use Special Attack 2s more often, because if I get hit, I'm more likely to survive and be able to come back at it, especially if I am paired with Killmonger and I get a certain synergy I'll talk about in a bit. And then Degeneration inflicts 507.2 direct damage over 20 seconds. That's pretty nice, especially, if you rank him up and everything. That's gonna, a 5-star awakened and ranked up could easily do over 1,000 direct damage over 20 seconds, if not more. I'm sure mine could if I awakened him. Special Attack 3. The strength of this special attack is increased based on how many unique debuff types are currently active on the opponent. Now, earlier I tried going in Realm of Legends with my 5-star, and I had 6 unique debuffs on him, or on Winter Soldier, and I didn't get a passive Fury at all. I didn't even get a 20%, 50%, or I didn't get any passive Fury, so I'm wondering if that has to do with Fear the Void being up on him. But maybe I was just reading it wrong, and I'll look like a dork in a couple months when I look back on this. But anyways, so fun synergies with him. When paired with Hulk, Void gets up to 3 Fury buffs when charging heavy attacks. So you get a parry, and then you can charge up. So that's pretty nice. Increases attack rating by 20% for 8 seconds. Now, if you have him paired with Sentry, when activating his special 3, he gains a reality warp charge for 30 seconds, increasing the duration of any fury effects activated afterward by 20 seconds. So you have Hulk on your team and Sentry. You essentially just wait for your special 3, and then when they have all their max debuffs on them, and then you can just, parry, heavy attack, hit them with it, activate your special 3, and all of a sudden, you've got up to 3 Fury buffs, increasing his attack rating by 20%, and then you increase the duration of any of them afterwards by 20 seconds. Maybe I did it backwards, where you use special 3. We'll find out. And then if you apply an Avenger, I like to use Captain America, because I have a 5-star version of him. Fear the Void activates at the start of the fight for 30 seconds against the Avengers. Not super useful in a lot of things, because a lot of the Avengers aren't big-time bosses. I mean, Iron Man Infinity War for sure, but I mean, honestly, it's a nice synergy, but it's not the most useful. And then I don't ever care about enemies level 3, because 155 critical rating, yay. I'd rather just put my Duke Iceman on my team. But anyways, so I like to bring in Killmonger with him because Killmonger gets a 35% chance to petrify debuff after a 0.5 second delay and instantly regenerates 4% of his health per debuff. That has saved my ass more often than not in this event quest already. Killmonger's kind of my MVP for this event quest. But what's really nice is Void regenerates 1% health when inflicting his intimidating debuffs. So that's super nice. We're going to put all of our nice little synergy guys on here. Bam. So I want to use my 4-star just because he's awakened. I think I already mentioned that before. But anyways, let's get to it, because let's see. I don't know how long this is going on for, but I really don't want to make this video exceptionally long. Anyways, let's get into it. So the nice thing is that parry, being a debuff, definitely counts for bringing down their health. So he's probably going to use special soon, so I got that dark sting on him. Come on, buddy. Come on. You know you want to use it. Come on. Alright, see, I'm at 81% health right now. Yay. Well, 64. You see we're going to jump. Bloop, there's 62. Health regained by applying that debuff. Dodge that. Bam. Yeah. Just keep using that special 1, bud. There you go. Let's get some more of these dark stings so we can see what kind of damage we're going to do on that. Please, do it. There we go. Alright, so we're at max stacks right now. Fear the Void going on. Get that attack rating going. Shit. No. 7%. Oh, you guys saw that lag, right? Yeah. Oh well. Just jump out and hop right back in so I can use some of those fury buffs, so I don't spending a revive on that. Yo, that's what I want. Okay. You guys ready? You ready? I'm ready. Alrighty. Let's do this. One thing I'm not entirely sure about is if fury buffs, if when I have a fury buff and I get a debuff applied or intimidating presence applied, will it affect the damage that I do? So right now I'm doing 14 a tick. There we go. Alright, so we got the fury buff going on. Let's see if we can do 35 from 18. That doesn't seem like... Well, it might be. I don't see why it wouldn't. So definitely when he's duped, you want to spam special one like crazy. You definitely do. But when he's unduped, because all of the debuffs go away with no added damage on later, it just... I lost my train of thought. Tried to dodge that special too. Oh well. I'll go back over this and go, oh, you dummy, you should have kept talking. Go away. I had that turned off, but whatever. Alrighty. So what did we do there? About 20,000 damage in 2 minutes or so. So, you know, using a 5-star, I can definitely do a lot more damage. But you just won't get that Fear of the Void passive on there. But, yeah. So, yeah, that's my basic overview of Void, and, I mean, I hope it helps anybody, you know, watching this out a little bit, going, oh, okay, and then maybe, you know, you can expand a little bit more, and there's so much to learn with so many of these champions. I don't think I could cover it in a video under a half hour and show you everything that's possible, but, yeah, anyways, thanks for hanging out, and, yeah, have a good rest of your day.